Hello there, Mr. Sutton here, bringing you the IM3 Honors 7-7 Part 1 homework solutions on sine and cosine curves.
For number one, we want amplitude, period, and a sketch of this sine curve. So for amplitude, that's just this 2 out in front. The period is going to be 2 pi over this b value of 3, so 2 pi over 3. Graphing this out now, we're going to put our amplitude on there. So we're going up and down 2. And for our period, we've got our 4 hash marks. We're going to put this 2 pi over 3 at the end of the fourth because we're splitting our wave into 4 pieces. This is the sine curve, so that means that we're going to start at the middle of the wave going up. So our first dot right here is going to be in the center, and then we're going to go up as we move a quarter period to the right, and then back down, and then down to the other end to the amplitude away from the x-axis, and then back up. Connect the dots. There's our sine curve. For number 2, the amplitude on this one is going to be a positive 2 because amplitude is always expressed as a positive number. It's just how far are you going in each direction. And then for the period, that's going to be 2 pi over the b value of 1/2. So that's going to be 4 pi if you multiply by the reciprocal. Putting that on a graph now, we have an amplitude of 2 that we're going up and down. And for my fourth hash mark, I'm going to write 4 pi. So that means each of these are going by pi's, but you don't really need to put that as long as you've got one of them labeled. We've got an upside down sine curve because this is negative sine. So we're starting in the middle, but we're going to go down instead of up for the first step to the right. And then we have to bounce back up to the middle and keep going to the top of our amplitude. And now back down. So upside down sine curve, and we're good. For number 3, we have a 2 for the amplitude, positive amplitude. And then we've got a period of 2 pi over the b value of 2. So that's pi. Graphing this out, we have an amplitude of 2 that we're going up and down. And pi is going to be our fourth hash mark because we're breaking it into quarters of a period to graph the sine curve. So this is actually a cosine curve. It's a negative cosine curve. That means that we are starting at the bottom of the wave. So we're going to go down 2 because that's our amplitude and start down here. But since we're at the bottom, there's only one way to go, and that's up. So we go up the amplitude to that middle, and then up again to the top, and then back down because we can't go anywhere else, and back down. There we are. For number 4, we have an amplitude of 1/2. And for the period, it's going to be 2 pi over the b value, which is also 2 pi. So that's 2 pi over itself, which is 1. So our amplitude then is 1/2. So 0.5. So I'm going to be going up and down just this little 0.5 here. And then for our period, we go 1, 2, 3. Fourth hash mark will be the 1, so that we've got this split up into quarters. This is cosine. That means we're starting at the top of the wave. Since our amplitude is 1/2, the top is right here. And then we're going to go down the period, or down the amplitude rather, to the midline, and down another half, up half, and up another half. And we've got our little cosine curve. For number 5, we have an amplitude of positive 1/2. Again, amplitude is a positive number. Period is going to be 2 pi over the b value of 1/2. So that's 4 pi. And now, graphing this thing out, we've got an amplitude of 1/2, so I'll just stick a 1/2 up here. And then I've got 4 pi. That'll be my fourth hash mark. So each of these is worth pi. Now I've got a negative sine curve. That's middle going down that I'm starting at. So here at the middle, I go down for my next dot. And then I have to go up that amplitude of 1/2 and up the amplitude again. Top of the wave, so now we're bouncing back down. And we've got enough to graph this thing out now. And there it is. For number 6, we have a positive amplitude of 3. And for the period, we've got 2 pi over the b value of 2/3. So this is a little tricky to do, but we can multiply by the reciprocal. So that'll be 6 pi over 2, which is 3 pi. Now let's graph it out. Our amplitude, our up-down value is 3. And then we've got a period of 3 pi. I've got 4 hash marks. I'm just going to put 3 pi on the fourth one. So each of these is 3/4 pi, but we don't really need to write that. Since this is negative cosine, I'm starting at the bottom of the wave, and I can only go up from there. So we go up the amplitude of 3, up again to the top of the wave, and then we bounce back down and just keep going back to the bottom of the wave and connect the dots. So there's our negative cosine curve.